Hi, my name is Mark Hundley, and this is Live at 5. I appreciate you being here and sharing this time with me. I'm working to share some information, perhaps stories from my life and perspective that might help you do a better job of living in today's world as we now have it. You know, today's topic is the next thing, and you think, well, what is that? What does that mean? I think there are certain times in our lives where events occur that are pivotal to who we are, that are pivotal to our well-being. There are times that come along that give us an opportunity. Things happen that give us an opportunity to make choices that actually create a way for us to define who we're going to be in the moment and in years to come. One of those occurred for me back in 1974. I've told you I'm an old guy. All right, I was a junior in college out in Abilene, and my college pastor, Dr. James Flaming, probably the one of the smartest, if not the wisest person I've ever known in my life, on February 10th, 1974, kind of significant, isn't it? That I would remember that date, made a presentation on living in the meantimes. It was so crucial and so profound and so influential in my life that what I learned from that brief presentation has guided everything that I do from that point forward. He was talking about how to live in the meantimes, and he defined a meantime in two ways. The first of all, he defined a meantime as an event that comes along and knocks us off center. It just knocks us off track. It's a mean time, and we have to learn to live with those events that come along and knock us off center. It could be death, it could be a divorce, it could be a job loss, it could be any number of things that occur in our lives that knock us off center. So we had to learn to live with negative events. And then he talked about mean times as the time between times, the time between that event that knocks us off center to that point in time where we got back on the track and started moving in a different direction or in a different way or at a different speed. So living in the meantimes had two components: living with the event and living with the in-between times. He gave us 3 points. Those points have become a roadmap for me for all of my life and have influenced much of what I do today. He said we have, first of all, have to learn to lean heavily on God or our belief system, our values. We have to learn to lean heavily on our family and friends, and we have to learn to do the next thing. He illustrated that third point, doing the next thing, by saying, if you are washing dishes and your meantime, that event that knocks you off center comes along in the middle of you washing dishes and you have to leave the dishes to go take care of whatever it is that's in front of you, he said the next thing you do when you finish taking care of the immediacy of the event is finish washing the dishes. He said that in order to encourage us to reconnect with where we were when we got knocked off center. Because it's important for us to reconnect with where we were, what we were thinking, what we were feeling, what we were doing, what our intents and purposes were, so that we could then know where we needed to start, what we could do next. He also did that so that we could reconnect with ourselves and start making choices. I remember 31 years ago when this became incredibly important to me. And I remember asking myself after that tragedy that occurred in my life, that traumatic tragedy that occurred in my life, I got through and went through that whole process. And I started asking myself, what's the next thing that I need to do? What's the next thing that I need to say? What's the next thing that I need to consider? So here's the deal. Many of us have been knocked off center. We have been hit from the left, hit from the right, and hit and gut punched. We've been sucker punched by life right now, and we are living in a mean time. We have had an event that's knocked us off. We are also beginning to wonder and start working on how we can live in the mean times, in that time between times, so that we can move back to a new normal. The key is to reach up to that which is above us, to that which gives us strength and purpose and courage, to reach out to those around us, those who can provide us encouragement and support and direction and guidance, and to reach in to tap that resiliency and to tap into that grit that we have that helps us move forward and reconnect with where we are to make decisions about where we go in the future. What is the next thing that you need to do? Is it a call? Is it a pause of your frenetic activity to consider your directions? Is it writing something? Is it reading something? Is it giving yourself some grace? What is the next thing you need to do to help you deal with this meantime and to live in the meantimes while we move back to that new normal? What is it you need to do? Guys, I hope that you will take this encouragement today as it's intended, one that will help you take the next steps in the days to come to make your life more purposeful and meaningful. Thank you. Peace.